this computer. We're recording. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of what I like to call a goddamn good listening to with me, Lily Grimes. And today we have a guest speaker who is rather special, and we like to call him Chris Grimes. Welcome, Chris Grimes, into my clearing space.
Thank you very much indeed. Lily Grimes, obviously we must be related. Thank you for having me.
And I am from second curve.
Lovely.
Welcome to my crib. So Chris, how are you today?
I'm good, although I do have a bit of a sty welt in my eye.
I didn't ask that. That's fine, thank you.
I have a sore knee because I got knocked off my bike by a dog saying hello to my spokes.
Okay, I didn't really ask about that, but so it's okay.
Nobody cares.
Okay. Nobody really cares. Okay, so I'm going to invite you in a minute into a place called The Clearing, which I like to refer to as a place where you wind down, you think about things, you get creative. So my clearing, for example, would be going in the shower for a long time and just thinking about life. So Chris, enough about me. What about your clearing? What would your clearing be?
Well, thanks for asking vis-a-vis, par example. My clearing would be a comedy improvisational theatre in the round, because I love comedy improvisation, because I'm a part of Instant Wit. The idea that it's an empty space, brimming and charged with potential, with an attitude of yes and, where anything's possible. So it's a sort of theatre in the round thing.
Thank you. So I'm now going to metaphorically join you in your clearing, and I'm going to bring in some storytelling archetypes. So I'm going to bring a tree into your theatre of the round. I'm going to shake your tree and see what leaves fall down. So we're going to do a storytelling exercise now, which I like to call 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you can count, that won't be too hard. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 5 things that have shaped you.
But it's 5 minutes to then think about.
Okay, thanks. Is this your podcast? 5 minutes. 5 things that inspire you. 4 things that
shape.
4 things that shape you. 3 things that you like to eat. 2 things.
I'm good at that one. Cheesy scones. Sorry.
3 things.
Do you know the exercise in your own room?
And 1 thing that no one would know about you unless you told them. So Chris, out of those 5 things that I've just explained to you, what would you like to choose to talk about?
I'll talk about things that shaped me.
Okay.
I grew up in Uganda, get me, until I was 10 years old. And we left in 1971, which is how old I am, awkward, when Idi Amin overthrew Milton Obote. I wasn't there. We were 50 miles away in a place called Jinja. And one of the really shaping things, which wasn't so much connected to Uganda, was linked to somebody who inspires me, because when I was about 7, I first saw Stan Laurel on a black and white TV set, and I was completely blown away by how funny, kind, warm, I really, really laughed. And so I've loved Stan Laurel ever since. So I'm jumping about a bit there. Do you want me to stop there?
Yeah, that's enough, thanks. So what about 1 thing that no one would possibly know about you? You've got to think what hard, because I do know you quite well. What would no one know about you unless
you can't know?
Yeah, something that I don't know.
I had another cheesy scone while you were out in Reading, which I was going to keep to myself.
I'm telling.
Well, you're telling everyone.
What would your normal thing be?
My normal thing might be that I'm really good at table tennis, and if I was to play...
I think everybody knows that.
Okay. I used to have an extra large wheelie bin, because I came up with a really stupid character who was like a jack-in-the-box, which is slightly embarrassing now, but why he was a jack-in-the-box and in a wheelie bin is he could have been a comedy contender. He could have been somebody. Anyway, you wouldn't know that unless I told you.
Yeah, and that's probably something that you shouldn't tell anyone again, maybe.
Sure.
Thank you for sharing that. So I'm now going to give you a metaphorical cake, and we're going to put the cheeky cherry on top of that cake. And I would like you to tell me some wisdom that you would impart on your younger self, what you would say to your younger self now. Maybe my age, so 20. When you were 20, what's the best piece of advice you would give to yourself as 20?
Very good question. In a sort of really mundane way, even well, the character in Finding Nemo, Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, keep moving forward, and then trust in the fact that good work leads to good work. If you just keep swimming and you keep tenacious, you will find your voice and find your path. Don't get distracted, just trust it all will be okay.
Deep. And what's your favorite inspirational quote that you like to use?
There's an Abraham Lincoln quote, which is, whatever you are, be a good one. There's the one I already mentioned, good work leads to good work. And recently, because of the COVID pandemic, a Marcus Aurelius quote, which is not related to a pandemic as such, but never let the future disturb you, because you will greet it with the same weapons of reason that today arm you against your present, is a really nice quote of late.
I like that a lot. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Sorry, would you like
There's another one.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
While I was reading quite a dark book about, it was about the drug cartels. I was trying to remember the word cartel. Incoming. It's arrived. And it's somebody called Rosanna Castellanos, which is, we have to laugh because laughter, as we already know, is the first sign of freedom. So the idea of humour in adversity is something I'm quite intrigued by. And
you made a Facebook group which you like to tell everyone about in lockdown. Would you like to put a little link into that here? Or?
Lily, thank you so much for asking, and I didn't actually do that. Yes, it's a Facebook group called #LOLvirus, which is about spreading a little happiness and a bit of antivirus in times of challenge and adversity. So it's about having a bit of a lol, whilst we're in lockdown and wondering what to do. And interestingly, it's become a bit of a historical archive of the advent of lockdown, including, because we live in Bristol, as you know, Lily, when the Colston statue came down, that was classic sort of promenade theatre, as he was felled and then clanged towards the harbour side and then plopped into the water. That's the wrong sound for a splosh. But the joke, the meme that came in was harbouring a well-known criminal. It wasn't my joke, but I'm just sort of, raping the internet, if you pardon that particular expression, of memes and bunging them in the group.
And you tend to not make your own memes anyway, do you? You just recycle other people's memes.
Because once I did ask you to make me a meme and you refused to show me how to do it, you were very, very good at running away from actually committing to doing that. Even though we've done a barter, I asked you to, I did something very generous for you, and you just would not give me this thing to do with, to me, to you. It was a Chuckle Brothers joke about the 2 meter rule, to me, to you, to me, to you. And I just knew it would be a good idea, but then somebody else came up with a meme and I did it in the end anyway.
I'm sorry. But your family have been very supportive of your Facebook group, haven't they?
Yes, they have, because it's required quite a lot of effort, and it hasn't not come at a cost, shall we say, in terms of where I've had to be quite obsessive, because I am a man of extremes. And I noticed that during this period of being locked down, I did experience quite a lot of what's called creative diarrhea. Not my expression, sort of squirting out lots of ideas. But I am happy to report some solids. This podcast has come out of the whole, I suppose, creative spurt process. As have the.
I helped you create, didn't I?
You certainly did.
Yes.
Yes. What did you help me create?
The podcast.
Yes, you did, and you're doing a very good job of being me, if I may say. You're a much, dare I say, more attractive version of me.
Thank you. So I'd like to leave with a final cheeky question that you won't have heard before, so I'm just going to throw something out there. I'm going to ask you, Chris Grimes, what is your biggest life regret?
Ooh, cool, blimey, that is a good question.
Thank you.
My biggest life regret. It's not over yet, so I don't know what because if you haven't missed, well, I don't have any huge regrets.
Good answer.
Apart from if I've ever been accidentally unkind to anyone, if I've ever hurt anybody, because of changes in circumstances or life circumstance, if I've ever caused pain to any human being that I've been alongside, I would sincerely like to apologise for that, because that's never been my intention. Boink.
Right. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming into my clearing.
You're very welcome.
I think that's all the questions, unless you wanted to add any final comments or.
Yes, please. I like your earrings, Lily.
Thank you. They're from you, actually.
Oh, from me.
Anyway. Well,
It's my money. Yeah, always. Yes.
thank you very much. So you have been listening to What You Need is a Good... Is it good, Dan? What you need is a
good listening to.
Sorry. What you need is a good listening to with me, Lily Grimes, and I have been in conversation with Chris Grimes. So thank you, Chris, for coming into my clearing.
Thank you for having me. I do really appreciate it.
Good night.